What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Couch Talk.
Yes. Welcome to Anime Day.
Yes, Wednesdays are anime days. We post Wednesdays and Sundays at 3 p.m.
Most
Don't know
of the
why
time.
I had to think there for a little bit. But today's topic is anime that's good for someone who's a beginner or never seen anime before.
Yeah. So, good anime to watch as a beginner, or good anime to introduce
Yes.
to people,
Uh,
or just to if someone's like, "Hey,
what should I watch to get into anime?
yeah," you'd be like, "Here's a few suggestions."
Here's a few suggestions.
These aren't like
But there's a few things you have to take into consideration when suggesting to someone.
exactly.
You have to think about their preferences. Maybe something super long is not the best idea.
Exactly. You don't want to be like, "Hey, watch One Piece."
Or Naruto or something where there's a lot of episodes and a lot of fillers.
Yeah,
That might
or
get
just
someone like a casual watcher might be like, there's just
something
so
that
much
can
filler.
put them off.
Yeah.
You want to kind of like
A little concise. There's no deviations. In
pretty
the story.
straightforward.
Nothing too complicated.
Yeah, not a bunch of like thinking involved, or not think. That came off of like an asshole. I mean, like not a bunch of like things you have to keep track of. I guess I should say, like, oh, this guy's related to him, but he actually works for him, and then all this.
Sometimes I
other
also
stuff.
think it's like, it's good to think about what got you into anime. Like,
Yeah, like why did why did I start watching,
which
or what anime did I start with
Yeah,
that helped
yeah.
me get into it? And this is a personal, like, these are our suggestions. These aren't like you need to watch these, or we're not even saying all these animes are like super fantastic. We're just saying that they're beginner friendly. So I want
Yes.
people being like, well, I hate that anime.
or why
did
is
you?
it? Or why is this not on your list?
Yeah, like,
These are just the few that we
If
think
you-
are pretty good. Like,
yeah, if
all
you
around.
have anime, you can suggest some in the comments down.
Yeah, what you think would be a great starter anime? Yes, suggest
Exactly. So let's just jump right into it.
it.
So
Again, we said think of what they would like. So if
Yes.
someone's like they like psychological thrillers, like
I think honestly, I think psychological / thriller is probably my favorite genre.
really,
I'd say so.
that's actually there's a few that I have to recommend to you at some time that would not be good for beginners.
I would because I think because looking at some of my favorite anime, I'm like, I think I really dig that genre. It's like, I don't know, I just like the intensity that comes with it. But sorry,
No, yeah.
that's just a little side note.
Well, I was trying to use that time to think of the real TV show that I know a lot of people like. That's a psychological Dexter. That's the title of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
like Dexter and stuff like that. People that like that show and other things of that nature,
Or like,
I would.
I can't think of psychological thrillers off the top of my head.
I've not seen Dexter. That was just like one of the big ones that I know.
Yeah,
But anyway, if they like stuff like that, I think everyone probably would go to this as a good beginner anime, and that's Death Note.
yeah, that's true. Death Note's actually one of my favorites.
It's my second favorite psychological thriller.
It's one of my favorites. It's probably my top 10. Probably top 5, actually. I really enjoyed it. It
Yes.
did have, like, some... I don't want to spoil anything, actually, so I'm not going to say anything.
We're not here to review them. We're here to give them suggestions.
Yeah. We
But
want
it
to
has
make...
everything you need.
We should make this spoiler-free.
Yes.
So it's spoiler-free.
It has great characters that you can actually...
It has really good
behind.
characters. It has...
Like, the main character really makes you think on, like, a moral compass.
Yeah.
Like,
so the
is he doing
premise...
something right? Is he doing something
The
wrong?
premise is basically a Death Note gets into the hands of a college student. I think he
Yes.
starts out at high school.
Yeah, well, he's doing those college exams. In the
Yeah, so he
beginning.
starts out at high school and eventually, but like a college-aged student, and basically whoever's name you write in it dies. And it's like a moral thing that, like, he kind of, you could argue with, or like, is it right to kill people? Obviously not. But is it okay to kill people who are evil? That's where it's like, well, some people say that's fine. Some people say no, you don't deserve that right.
Yes, that's why they like Dexter. They'll probably definitely like Death Note.
Yeah, it's super. It keeps you on the edge of your seat for a long time. Like, every episode has like just suspenseful moments that, like, what's gonna happen next? What's he gonna do? Like, how's he gonna like keep doing this without like getting in trouble, or like how are people gonna respond? It's just super. I think the strongest things might be probably the characters.
Yeah, the characters are all great, really good, except for a few characters. But other than that,
yeah, I wouldn't say any characters. Well, there's some characters that are kind of annoying and they're just can get on your nerves.
But every show has that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say there's any characters that's necessarily bad. Just they don't shine as the other characters.
All right, then moving on. I guess we were going to someone who's a sports fan.
Yeah, so if you like sports or whatever, and you're like, well, I only like sports. Why would I watch anime? Well, lucky for you.
There are fantastic sports anime.
There are fantastic sports anime. So you can go ahead.
All right. The first one I would definitely recommend is Kuroko no Basket.
Me
Definitely.
too.
It's a basketball one.
That's also one of my favorites, just because I'm a huge basketball fan.
It is in my top 10.
I'm a huge basketball fan.
I think. I debate between it and one other one. That's a sports anime as well.
So it's in your top 10-ish.
Yes. Because I debate. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, Kuroko no Basket. Again, there's no weak characters in it.
Yeah, I like all the characters. All the characters are
very likable.
Yeah.
You can understand where they're coming from.
And they're just unique. That's what makes it cool. It's basically basketball with mini superpowers.
Yeah, I guess you can look at it that way.
But
they're not like super ridiculous.
Yeah,
though.
some people are probably like, well, that sounds dumb, but it's
more
actually
like if they had a whole bunch of LeBrons and Michael Jordans or something like that.
It's actually really enjoyable the way they handle it, though. Like, it kind of sounds ridiculous if you explain it like briefly.
Yeah, but there's like a character who never misses threes.
Yeah.
There's a character who's like a super dunker.
Yeah, but they all have weaknesses, which they go over.
Yes.
But the characters are cool, and
each game that they play is just super hyped.
Yes.
They know how to get you involved and like pumped up to like when they score and stuff. You're like cheering like in an actual basketball game.
You feel like you just want the team to win so bad. You feel for them.
And it's not like one of those ones where they're the main team, they're gonna win every time.
Yeah, exactly. Like
there are losses, there's wins, there's ups and downs.
Yeah, they have
Like
struggles.
you're truly rooting with a real basketball team that you love.
It's super good. It's one of my faves too. Like it's just I love it, man.
Because the other sports one I debate with for being in my top 10 is Prince of Tennis, which I know you haven't seen. The only reason I debate it is why I wouldn't recommend it either. It's long, but it never finishes. Like it ends in the middle of an arc, and it's just been on hiatus. So I wouldn't recommend that as a beginner, but I would definitely recommend it.
I guess another beginner one could be Haikyuu. It's kind of like Can-Be in a sense. You haven't seen it, though.
No, I have not.
Okay, I'll take over.
Yes, you take over.
Okay, so Haikyuu's similar to Can-Be. They don't have like powers, but they all have like unique skills that they excel at. And it's actually pretty simple, like or similar to Can-Be, I'd say. Like you have like your two main characters, and then like you have their rival characters, and like it's about volleyball, which I mean, not many people watch volleyball, I would assume. At least not live.
I mean, the only time I've ever seen volleyball is during the Olympics.
Exactly.
I don't know if you can really watch it otherwise.
But this is another good anime that it's similar to K&B. This is why I'd recommend it. Is how you like root for them. Like you're like, oh, I really want them to win, and you don't really feel like they're always gonna win because you don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like that. It's similar to K&B. So if you're a sports anime or you're a sports fan, and you want to give anime a try, just check out either Kuroko no Basket
or Haikyuu.
Haikyuu! Exclamation point. Anyway.
All right. You want to go on to the next one?
Well, what was that? Sure. We can go on to the next one.
All right. We're going to go to the next one. I guess the rest of these are going to be like action focused.
Yeah, which is probably a main genre in anime.
This action fighting.
Here, let's
we'll split this kind of combat, I guess. So there's martial arts style. There's
like power,
magical powers kind of thing, and then there's just your typical normal, I
Shonen.
don't know, gun stuff.
All right. So the next one, I guess. Okay, so this anime gets a lot of flack, and it's Sword Art Online, and I already know someone's gonna be like, "Why would you recommend that?" Well, it's very straightforward and simple.
Yes, and if you just sit back, watch it casually, it's very enjoyable.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't have like a super complicated like story. It's just this is it. This is what they have to do, and it is enjoyable. If you just I think some people like to play critic too much.
Yes, definitely.
Which is kind of, I mean, that's okay to do, but I feel like people intentionally try and be harsh and like over criticize things. Like it does need work, or it does deserve some criticism, but some people are like, this is the worst thing ever. It's like, I mean, it's one of the anime that I first watched when starting anime, and I thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah, it's definitely enjoyable. There's some.
I mean, it doesn't really have too strong characters, but it's just like it's setting.
The enjoyable factor,
Yeah.
I think, more than anything.
And I think the setting.
It has some good action.
Yeah.
Especially the first 13 episodes are basically fantastic, fabulous. Which definitely carries its weight more than especially if they're a gamer.
Yeah, if you
love
enjoy
it.
games, you'll like this anime. Like it's
Yeah, we don't need. Let's say if you're a gamer and you want an anime,
yeah.
then Sword Art Online is a good one.
Okay, yeah.
Log Horizon's another one that's kind of similar. You go into a game world, VR
True.
and stuff, and they get trapped. That one's pretty good too. But Sword Art Online's probably the better one to recommend.
Yeah,
At
it's
first.
just simple.
And if they watch Sword Art Online and like it, I'd say go watch Log Horizon.
Exactly. And if someone who hates Sword Art Online, you recommend to someone and they like it, then you can be like, well, guess what? That was bad. Now you get to enjoy good stuff.
Now, if they're like a martial arts or like samurai stuff, one of the classic ones, Rurouni Kenshin, I think it's a great one to start off with. You get that little lengthier one. Yeah, have you seen it all the way through? Or, I know
Not
you
all the
watched
way
a
through.
lot of it.
I've seen like pieces of it when I was younger. Like that's how actually I did start anime. I saw
bits and pieces on Adult Swim.
because like yeah, you'd watch Adult Swim, and I don't think Adult Swim always went sequentially.
I have no idea, to be
Because
honest.
I think they'd have some, like they go
Because they were
sequentially
rotating
for
anime all the
they
time.
go sequentially for a bit and then they'd switch out. That's how I saw a lot of anime.
But Rurouni Kenshin's got some like history mixed in with it too, of
Yeah.
like the Meiji government and the Tokugawa.
it's basically about a swordsman
yes.
or a samurai.
Samurai. And he gets a strong group of people that are like trying to help protect the country against these others. Because during like when the Meiji government first started up, the people during the Edo period were still trying to take down the government in their own little faction. So they're basically trying to protect it. And they got some good like characters who evolve and develop throughout. Like one, he's like a good guy that works with them, but he wanted to take down the government for so long because
Right.
he was from one of these units that like it actually happened where like they use these teams or whatever, and then after they were done using them, they would go in and like slaughter them to basically look like they never worked for the Meiji government.
Right.
And so they do that stuff, so it's kind of really involved and deep that I think actually takes a really good tone, which is good for beginners. And then another good beginner one that's a lot shorter, only 26 episodes, 28, I don't know. Samurai Champloo. Since you haven't seen it, I'm just going to quickly go over this one.
Keep going.
It's another good samurai one. Great action, fighting, martial arts and stuff. So if you love martial arts movies, definitely recommend that one. All right.
So next one, okay. Next one is also is a older style one. So this one is called Yu Hakusho, which it's just about this kid who inherits spiritual powers, but like he uses them as weapons. So he has something called Spirit Gun.
Spirit Gun. And then he blasts it.
But it's another like
it's another one that I watched as a kid.
Yeah, it has a lot of action, but it's like good, enjoyable action because it takes different like.
has a good a lot of like
approaches towards it.
and it has like a lot of tropes used in anime
Yeah.
that kind of like are in this one, so you get a lot of them.
Yeah.
You get those bad guys who become good guys. You get like
you get like the super power ups.
yeah, you got the super bad guys and stuff, like the main bosses.
Yeah.
You got basically a lot of them.
Yeah. It is. I think it is good to start with anime that has a lot of tropes that you'll see.
Yeah, because then you can get used to them and understand what's going to happen.
Exactly. Like, there's lots of tropes that, like, especially shonen use, I would say. But I think it's good to start with some that have a lot of those.
And it's not super long. So
yeah, it's not super long.
It's like 112, I think.
I think so. 100. Yeah, somewhere 110, 120.
Something in there. So it's not too long. It's only like
it has a super
like
good
5
tournament
seasons
arc.
of standard TV, I guess. So if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, it has a super good tournament arc, which is hype.
Yes, and you get all the arcs in it too. So you get used to
you do
arcs.
get experience arcs, which are
some
basically...
of these other ones don't have arcs at all, which is why some of them are probably good for beginners if they don't have arcs.
Yeah.
And then you want some like simple ones with arcs that are good for beginners, and Yu Hakusho is definitely one of them.
So the next one would be... Okay, so the next one is another, I guess, shonen. Yeah, I'd say so.
Sure, I'm actually not the best with my genres.
I think shonen, I think, is basically... It's targeted towards younger males. I think that's why it's called that. But it's basically like the action ones, like Naruto,
yeah.
One Piece. I it's probably the most popular genre, maybe.
I would say so.
Yeah, at least like when it comes to popular anime. But the next one is Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I'd probably go with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah,
because that one's the one that's
I've actually
seen
Full Metal Alchemist, but it was still good. And
yes, they use a lot of Full Metal Alchemist in the first like 13 episodes, and after that, it kind of starts to split.
Yeah, but it's another one that's
either one. You're basically
it's
safe.
pretty. It's also like there's not. How do I want to word this? I don't want to say there's not a lot going on. There's not like a bunch of like stuff to keep track of. Like, it doesn't have the biggest cast of characters.
No,
like, it only has, like...
It keeps it contained, and it develops each and every character.
Exactly, that's what it keeps.
Has the time
it keeps, like, the
actually
setting contained.
out.
It keeps the characters contained. It keeps the plot contained. It doesn't, like, go off, like... Because some anime like that, if they get too long... Well, that one's not too long. It's, like, 64 episodes or something.
Full Metal Alchemist is shorter than Brotherhood. I think Brotherhood's around 80-something.
Okay. I haven't finished or watched it.
Or is it in the 60s? I don't know. It's not very long.
Yeah, they're both around, I'd say, between 60 and 70.
I think Full Metal Alchemist is like 50, I think.
That might be true.
And then Brotherhood's like around 70.
Something like that. Maybe. Someone will check it.
Yeah, just
but it's just
later.
It's very contained. That's a good word to use for it.
And it's great.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is considered one of the best anime to a lot of people.
Yes, it is. I think it just sits at number 1 on a lot of sites and stuff. So
yeah, it does.
And
so if they don't like that, that's okay. There's a million more anime, but
there are a million more.
They will probably like it. Hopefully.
I guess one of the other ones we have here.
Yeah, this is a new
more
one.
current one going on, so they want to watch something current, keep up.
I think that's also an enjoyable experience. Is waiting week to week and then watching it like with the fandom, and then you can see people talk about it.
So this one is My Hero Academia.
It's honestly it's growing on me very quickly. Like I'm loving the shit out of it right now.
Yeah, so it's probably one of the bigger ones airing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't really keep up with what's currently airing.
It's probably one of the most popular airing right now.
Yes, and very understandably so. It's good.
It's super good.
It's got a lot of good characters that
it has tons of characters.
And that's probably like one of the downsides to it at the same time is there's too many characters. But other than that, if they like heroes,
there's like a character for everyone.
If they liked heroes, they'll definitely like My Hero Academia Because it's basically very similar to that. You got all your people hero powers, and then it goes between each character, and then of course there's the villains.
Yeah. It's basically a world where 80% of the population has what they're called quirks. Because they're not really power or superpowers. Because some are like simple. Some are like, oh, I can pull objects towards me. Others are like, I can shoot fire out of literally anywhere or something. But it's super fun. And the characters are great. There's a lot of characters that are great. There's just tons of characters, actually. It's I just love it, man.
So we definitely agree on probably most of the ones we just listed.
Yeah, that was kind of like a joint list that, like, if we were
recommending someone together, those were the ones we would recommend. What are ones that would be like your more go-to, or that wouldn't be one of the ones that we mentioned
for a beginner?
Yes.
Okay, so put me on the spot.
Oh, you want me to
no,
take
I'm
over?
good.
I can take over.
No, one that's very short. It's like 12 episodes, and it's another psychological thriller, which is it's called Erased. It's very enjoyable throughout every episode. Like, it's very, like, it keeps you like wondering, like, oh, because it has to do with time travel, kind of, but it's very simple time travel. It's basically like, I'll explain it briefly. It's basically the main character, like, will see like this butterfly thing, and then it'll rewind him to a certain point, but he knows something bad's gonna happen. So every time he gets like rewound, I think it's rewound. Every time he gets sent back, he knows something's bad's gonna happen, so he has to try and stop it. So like, maybe one is, this isn't in the anime, maybe one is like he's crossing the street, but it rewinds him like 30 seconds back. So it's like, oh, well, maybe someone's gonna get robbed, or someone's gonna like get hit by a car or something. It's actually super good, and I love it. You haven't seen it, right?
No, I don't. Well, I don't think I have.
I'm gonna recommend it to you right now.
Oh, thanks, man.
Watch Erased.
We're talking about time travel. Since we didn't go really into the scientific, like, sci-fi kind of genre or anything, like, what about Steins Gate? I feel like it would actually be a good beginner one.
It could, yeah.
Because it approaches time travel. We've all been approached to time travel at some point in our lives, whether it be H.G. Wells' Time Machine, like, which became a movie at some point.
There's a bunch of time travel in,
and I feel like Steins Gate does it actually really well.
Yes. This is actually my favorite anime, so of course I'd recommend this.
I feel like it actually is a really good beginner one.
Yeah.
You got the characters, you got the romance, and you got the
it's also travel. Another show that has like contained characters. Like there's only there's like 10 total.
6, yeah.
That's like, including like side characters too.
Yeah, there's not very many.
Maybe that's probably underselling it, but there's roughly like a main cast of like 8-ish. But it probably does time travel like the best.
It gives it justice.
Yes. It's probably did time travel like one of the best I've seen. It's super enjoyable. It's also another psychological sci-fi thriller, I guess you could say. See, this is why they're all the stuff I would like is that genre. So that's why I'm like, man, I gotta watch more. I gotta just go sort by psychological thriller and watch.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw in a couple of my personal ones here.
But watch Steins Gate.
That are sci-fi. So if you like Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, Star Wars, or something like that, I feel like Cowboy Bebop and Outlaw Star would fit into those worlds. You got your spaceships going around. You got your space wars and stuff.
Space wars.
You don't have really Cowboy Bebop, but you do in Outlaw Star. You have all these Rappler ships and other big, like, little, I guess, speedster ships and stuff. They have like races and
whatever they're called.
They have like their space races, their space fights, and all these things that are really cool. And they're kind of like, they also fall into the kind of like the mid-western kind of style too, where like they have bounty hunters and they're chasing down like criminals and stuff like that. And another one that I think would be good if you like old westerns. I'm actually a fan of old westerns. Are you? Do you ever watch any? Or
I don't watch old westerns.
Old westerns are actually pretty good. Some of them are. But Trigun has the old western kind of feel to it. Because, well, the main character uses a revolver.
That makes it
definitely automatically. Yes,
is there?
But no, they got like the clothes. They got
sand?
like the cowboy hats and stuff like that. Yeah, the whole planet's basically sand.
That's western.
There's like, it's really super hard to grow trees. There's like one episode where this guy has like a small plot of land that he's growing trees on, and there's like a lot of people trying to take it over and stuff and kill him for the deeds because it's worth like a shit ton of money. So they're trying to, get it. And Vash the Stampede, the main character, who's a wanted man.
A wanted man.
Yes.
An outlaw.
60 trillion double dollars is what it's called. I think is what they call it, like double dollars or something. It's weird. It's very weird. But a lot of fun. Super enjoyable. The characters are great.
This is reminding me of
our last thing.
Super fun.
Great fun.
But it's enjoyable.
And it has like the great villain and stuff. So Vash's brother Knives is the main villain. So you got some, the good old classic brother v brother.
Yeah. I guess
good.
I guess another one that I'd recommend is Hunter x Hunter. I feel like it's good because it does the arcs really well. It's like it's one continuous story, but like each arc like keeps you in it. Like you really want to just finish that arc because like arcs are basically like stories within the story, I guess you could say.
But let me counter this just in case.
Okay.
It doesn't have a true ending.
Oh, yes. Okay, it doesn't have a true ending, but the ending it has is satisfiable. Like, you could watch it. It could have ended there, and it would have been all right, like, given the circumstances. But it's kind of long. It's like 150, which is kind of on the long side. One of the arcs gets stretched out a bit, which is near the end. But I feel like if you start watching it, you'll enjoy it a lot because it's just... It does basically the strong suit I think is the individual arcs that just succeed like a lot of tropes what we were mentioning about.
All right,
like they just do it well.
Okay, is that all you got? Because that's all I got.
I think that's all I got.
All right,
I'm sure I'll remember something later.
Again, be sure to remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think are good beginners or which ones you may agree with or disagree with that we mentioned.
I'm sure they'll... Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, I'm just thrown off now, man. Let me get back to the script.
Okay.
We have a Discord channel that you can come join. It should be in the description down below. Come talk with us about anime, video games,
anything.
Play games with us, whatever it may be. We'll be doing it there.
True. Like, comment, subscribe. Did you say that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, damn. Share.
You're like a page back on the script, man.
Oh, my bad. It says don't talk for the remainder of the outro.
So that's gonna do it for us. Again, hope you have a wonderful day or evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. Peace out.
See ya. Wow.